I was going to tell you a little bit about some of the things that you can do to really start the ball rolling. And the first one of these is going to sound so simple, it may be like, duh, you know what? But I can't stress enough. Get out there and find who and what is out there. And let me give you some helping hints on that. Lots of examples. One organization called Going Global. Going Global sells databases, maybe even to your colleges or universities, and thousands of international employers. But you don't even have to work out of the country, so don't get hung up on that. There's two great magazines. One's called Transitions Abroad, and one's called International Living. All kinds of great information about careers outside of the country, but also things like student travel, which has gone up 110% in recent years. Living out of the country, there's 4 million Americans living abroad right now. Information on hobbies, cool inside travel tips that you won't find out on the outside. So anyway, I highly recommend those organizations. Let's see, and your career counselors as well. I come back to them. You know, they're really good for the basics, and definitely be talking with them. But again, remember, they're not going to know about the hot new industries and the cool new careers. For that, you've got to keep your eyes open for a book that's coming out in a couple of months. I know, because I'm the author. It's called Hot Industries, Cool Careers, and Warmest Regards. 50 New Jobs Promising Passion and Profit. Come by the booth 94, filling you on all that. Okay. Another thing that you can do, this is actually more of an awareness than an action. And what it is that recognize in this, what I call this, the multicultural office, that we're all like the blind men with the elephant. Anybody heard that story? Most of you, some of you may not have or may not remember. It's a famous story in India, although it's the mythical land of Indostan. And here's the abridged version. A bunch of blind men coming down a road, they bump into an elephant. Depending on which part of the elephant each one grabs an ear, one grabs a tusk, one grabs a trunk, one grabs a tail, one probably grabs other appendages, I don't know. But depending on what part they grab, they all interpret the elephant as a different animal. Why? Because they have blinders on. Their perceptions become their truth. Well, the reason I'm telling you this story, if you haven't figured it out already, is that in this emerging global community, in this multicultural office, we're all like the blind men with the elephant. And what happens is it leads us to have what I call cross-cultural collisions. And some of those are really funny. Some of them are really deadly serious. Let me give you an idea. Let's put some structure to this. I want you to pretend for a minute that you are the stereotypical North American employee. What are the type of things that you might run into out there on the job? And how can we analyze this to try and use it to our advantage? Well, for one thing, being typical North American hard-charging employee, you like to get ahead. And you believe that you ought to be able to climb the corporate ladder just as fast as your talents allow it to. That makes sense, right? We come from a meritocracy. That means we succeed based upon merit. That you're highly frustrated because your Japanese partner got to his position based upon his age, seniority, and not necessarily competency or experience. Or maybe because you're a hard-charging American, you like to be a maverick, you're independent, you like to get her done. You're really, really frustrated because now you have a French or German boss, and they have a very strict vertical reporting structure, almost like the military. They don't have what we Americans call an open door policy, where you can go 2 or 3 levels around the guy above you. So that's frustrating to you, because you're basically told to toe the line. Or maybe you're frustrated because your Scandinavian business partners, those Finns and Norwegians and Danes and Swedes, they like to do everything based on consensus, which means they get a fairly decent workable solution, but it's not necessarily the best one, because they don't like a maverick like you coming in there taking risks and shaking things up.